You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show. Hello and welcome to Movie Bears with the Farx brothers. I'm Kirk.
I'm Kyle.
I am
Did you run out names already?
Greg Ori Bovino.
Okay.
Most people are experiencing this as the second or third.
Yeah.
So
We're
Greg
joined
Bovino
by-
Farx.
We're joined by Matt Osterman, writer, director, entrepreneur. This is Ghost of the Machine spoilers.
And Matt wrote and directed this movie, just so that's clear.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Spoiler.
What?
Spoiler. Matt.
I also said spoiler.
So the brother relationship, when you grounded it there, I guess there's like the lame question of, do you have siblings, and is that coming from that? Or I guess I was kind of interested in how you picked that as the thing. Like dead parents, okay, and then if you have different age brothers, one's got to take care of the other.
Yeah. I have siblings. My parents are still alive, so it wasn't, based on any.
Really? In the research, I thought your mom was dead.
Whoa.
Oh, really?
Yes. I didn't click on all of the links it gave me for
The AI was wrong.
the perplexity research.
All right.
I'll let her know. When I
I'm
say
happy to hear it, Mrs. Osterman.
when I said ghosts don't exist, I may have misspoken. No, very much alive. At least as earlier today.
Knock on
Yeah.
wood.
Last you checked.
Yeah, I think the brother thing honestly was like, how do you make life more difficult for your characters, right? Knowing that he was ill-equipped to become like the sole caretaker of his brother or of anybody really. He could barely take care of himself. So how could we make it more complicated? Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the exact reason, but it was probably something like that.
Wait, just to be clear, he doesn't have a job, right? Because he never goes anywhere else but tinker in his garage.
That's a good question. I watched it last year, so I don't know. Did you? Yeah.
He's also either in his garage or in the kitchen.
I feel like in the script, I think they might have had a small settlement or something from the accident.
Yeah, okay.
So I think he's able to like kind of just be a bum for a while.
Live off that, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be 18 or like college age?
I think a little. He's not in high school.
Okay.
I think I think he was in college and maybe dropped out.
Okay, so he's college age, his brother's middle school age. We'll call it.
Yep.
Okay. And this isn't really a debate topic. It's more of like something you brought up. Do you remember the thing you said as soon as you started the movie about communicating with the dead? And then I want you to say it.
Do you mean? Well, okay. I don't want to like steal the spotlight. Are you talking about like similarities between two different projects we're involved in? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So when we didn't know, I didn't know much about the movie before I picked it. I just knew, you were in Twin Cities Film Festival in 2010, and then they showed it for the 15th anniversary. Wonderful. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I have kids. I knew that would work with you.
I get it. Yeah.
So he's going to tell you how we were like, this relates to some like two different things he and I have written.
Oh, cool.
That's what
So
I'm
just to be clear, that is what you're.
That is what I'm referring to.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't expect to bring it up. I mean, because it's more about us than.
Yeah, we're
that makes it
relating.
about us.
There's so many things that have been covered about this in the past 15 years.
Sure.
That what makes our show unique is that it's us talking to Matt.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if
That's
you want
the theory of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I marveled at the fact that it was just like musings between us, like. Talking amongst ourselves, like
Farx bros,
there are
yeah.
elements there that are very parallel to two different projects that we have going in different ways. Like you conceived of a very family-friendly short film that's now become a web series about a 12-year-old boy making a device after the death of his mother. And it's not to communicate with her, but it's a sci-fi concept. Yeah. And my feature script is about a girl using an AI app to try to reconnect with a dead person. So I thought that was interesting, but it's not like, do the listeners care? I don't think so.
Well, it was fun to have that debate though with you and I just now.
Oh, I don't even know if it was a debate.
I'll throw it
Like,
in the gas.
But it's one of the most human stories there is, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you get somebody back? How do you? Because everyone misses that person, right?
Yeah.
Like Frequency, the movie. Dennis Quaid, right? And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
JC.
He hears his dad through the radio, right? Like there's been hundreds of these types of stories, right? And
I haven't seen that in 25 years, but I remember Frequency.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's more. I don't know why I thought of Contact all of a sudden, but like Contact, you know, her dad comes back. It's not her dad, but you know, it's just a tried and true thing that we all think about, and we need more stories about.
Why were you struggling to edit this movie?
It's hard. Editing's hard.
Are you talking? I feel like you're talking about something you talked about before. I mean, like without us struggling to edit, like story or like literally the film editing.
No. Like he was editing. Famously, he was editing the movie. And then you cut a trailer together because you were struggling to edit it. Then the trailer goes semi-viral. You have some of your, best contacts up to that point in your career. And so,
well, let me just ask one more thing before that. Like, the film was all shot though, right? Before you edited the. Okay, so everything was shot, and you were editing it, and then you decided to edit the trailer.
Yep.
Is there a reason for editing the trailer first before finishing?
Because the editing the feature was just such a slog, you know. It's like, I don't know. I just felt like I hit a wall with it. Yeah. I think I might have had a rough cut, like a really shitty rough cut, you know. And I'm like, I need to think about something else. And it's weird, like just doing the trailer is like just an easier version of it in some ways. Yeah. So I'm like, I just need to stop thinking about the 90-minute version for a minute and think about the 90-second version. And yeah, I think probably good that I did that. I don't. It might have turned out the same way. In some ways, when we released the trailer and it kind of blew up, everyone's like, "Okay, send us the movie." And I'm like, "Well, it's gonna be a minute, you know." So did we lose momentum? I don't know, but everybody was willing to like look at it when we were done. So it did work out.
what did you get out of editing? Like, kind of makes sense. You said the 90-second to 90-minute, but like. Can you point to something, now that we're in spoilers, can you point to something in the plot or a piece, maybe a sequence in it, that first act, second act, third act, like, oh, from editing the trailer, now I see how I can fix this, for lack of a better term?
I think doing the trailer really was an exercise in distilling it down into the most important beats and moments of the movie. You know, so it helped me realize, like, okay, this is like what the movie is. And it just allowed me to like laser focus to come back into the edit and be like, okay, I know what this is again. Because sometimes you get caught in the details, and it's about this character or that character or this relationship, or no, it's a fucking scary ghost movie with grief as the undercurrent, right? And it was just a good reminder to get kind of back to the central premise of it. So I think it was valuable in that respect.
Do you remember what you cut? Like, I was impressed when I turned it on. I was like, Pete Davidson's short ass movie, baby. You know, under 90 minute. Fuck yeah.
Pete Davidson.
It's an SNL sketch from past 5 years.
Oh.
You've heard of that sketch, or
It sounds very familiar, so okay. I must have seen it.
Sweet. Yeah. It was in the zeitgeist like years ago. But just how long was your rough cut? Maybe that'll help. Do you remember that? Yeah,
probably 120, 115, something like that. Yeah, we just throw everything in. You know, and we were pretty, I don't know if we like ended up cutting out any full scenes out of it. It's just tightening. You know, when you think it's tight enough, it's not. You know, just keep going and get it down. And then once you get it down and it's too far, then you can start giving some air and some life back to it, you know. But yeah, I don't think there was a scene that was in the script that didn't make it to the final cut.
Which scene got the hardest, like, hack and slash?
You're asking me to recall something I don't remember last week, let alone 15 years ago.
Well, I could ask you a different question. Would you recommend editing a trailer before you finish editing the final cut? Like, is that something you would recommend, just so you have the story compact into 90 seconds?
I'll say this, I haven't done it again.
Oh.
but it worked for me in that moment, and it may work for me again. It may work for somebody else again too.
That's
it really
fair.
kind of comes down to timelines and your
Yeah.
team. You know, like I'm trying to think. On 400 Days, I did not cut the trailer for that. On Hover, I co-cut the trailer for that. And on BitCon, I co-cut the trailer on that. So it's kind of been all over the place. And you know, the latter ones, we were on a deadline to deliver the movie, right? So you don't have time to like, hey, I'm going to go take a couple weeks to cut the trailer. No, because they need the movie to see it, approve it, get it to the next level, and then the trailer just comes naturally after that. So I think that was more a function of schedule and deliverables than it was like me wanting to take a break to do the trailer. But yeah, if I had time, maybe I would.
What were you doing in, you had a different full-time job, I imagine. Was it contract video work or some other type of work while you were editing this?
Yeah, what was I doing?
Where were you in 2009, sir?
Yeah. I think I was doing freelance writing at the time.
What kind of freelance writing is like just writing for commercial things, technical writing, since that's
like
your degree?
some technical writing, a lot of copywriting.
Yeah.
So I was doing, my wife tells this story where I was writing for, I had a friend who got a contract to write for Target and Archer Farms. I don't know if Archer Farms still exists, but it was like kind of their food label. And I got sent a project to write for Archer Farms biscotti, or biscotti, depending on how Italian you are. I had never had a biscotti before,
Yeah,
and I had to write like all the marketing copy for the package. And my wife's like, if people are writing this stuff that have never experienced the project, like what are we doing here? I'm like, that's movies, baby.
right.
No, so yeah, I was doing a lot of copywriting at the time.
No.
You know.
Have you had one since?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't care for them. Too hard. Yeah.
They're like stale cookies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to
okay.
if you have to dip your cookie in coffee before you bite it, then it's worthless.
Who dips their cookie in coffee?
When you're eating a biscotti,
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna need it because they're like, yeah, they're
Not
it's like
milk?
Panera's bread. You're gonna break your teeth in half.
Yeah, you
eating
can-
Panera
wow.
bread.
It's like a little
I'm
Billy
a-
Club. You could, yeah. do
Yeah.
some
I'm an
damage.
anti-Panera guy. I think the bread breaks your teeth in half. But like
Well, the Brits, like when they have their various pastries, they're not as like it's to go with the tea or tea, not coffee. So
no, their bread sucks.
biscuits. British people's bread sucks. That's
No, Panera's bread sucks. I
Yeah,
don't know about
Panera
British
bread
people's
isn't British.
Panera sucks.
no. I was talking separately about the Brits, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. All right. You want to make that reach? Okay.
Yes, I do. So you're using electromagnetic. Was there more you thought about adding to explain it to people, or?
I'm sure, yeah, there were drafts where I got into the science pretty hard, and then it just ended up being too much.
How do you know when to pull back on a sci-fi or horror concept so that it's? You said, "Hey, XYZ, it's a story about this plus grief," but do you feel the question of how do you know when to scale up, scale down the genre element?
Part of that, I mean, it's kind of a two-phase approach. One, you get feedback, right? Like I shared that script with a lot of close folks, with people I didn't know, and just kind of grilled them, like, what'd you think about this or what'd you think about that? Like, be honest. So try to do that, and then like I don't know if I had this from the beginning or if I've honed it, but when I can read a draft and make it feel like the first time, where I really put myself in the shoes of a new reader, and I'm not bringing all the baggage with it. So I can get a sense of like, okay, am I going too heavy here? Not heavy enough? Are there some logic gaps? Or, do we need to lean into the genre a little bit more because we're not fulfilling the obligation of, the supernatural sci-fi thing, right? Like, is there enough of a breadcrumb trail there for folks to get it? Are there trailer moments? Like you need those cool moments, that are visual, but also like make you feel something. So when you do an audit of your script, you're like, okay, we need more of that. There's not enough of that cool, sexy stuff. So I don't have a formula for it. I just kind of honed it over the years.
What was a trailer moment in the script? Like you knew, hey, this is going to be in the trailer for, like you were imagining, hey, I'm going to be very successful and thank God, you know?
Well, I was going to ask, are you writing thinking that you're going to need a trailer moment in the script?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm writing for moments, right? Like, what are the cool moments? So even like, you know, kind of I hate to use the word iconic, but the memorable scene of like the garage door closing, kind of with Cody in silhouette, like I had that pretty early on, you know, or the scene of this is the spoiler version, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Kravitz, the ghost, like leaning in, like, you know, like those things, like I knew early on, and then until you get on set and you film it, you aim for it, you don't always get it, but like a handful of those things, I'm like, I know, like that's one of those moments that has a chance to like be something, you know.
And your ghosts were tied to location, it seemed.
Yeah.
Versus ghosts that
Well, that's why I imagined his parents didn't show up at his house.
because they were killed somewhere else.
They were killed somewhere else, right? Is that the
Well, maybe, but
going
not
on
everybody
theory?
becomes a ghost.
Yeah.
You know, so they.
Why?
Could be
It's
anything.
a good question.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of folks say it's about unfinished business.
Sure, but in your movie, why?
Why didn't the parents come back?
No. Like I get why the couple that was running a bad nursery has unfinished business. I don't understand why the character who hits the protagonist with the shovel, his wife comes back. Like the unfinished business doesn't line up to me there. Could you draw the line?
It's an unknown. And
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're trying to bring logic to something that maybe.
I don't want midichlorians.
You're right. Exactly. It was a strong narrative device to have the wife come back.
Okay.
Right. I don't know if it was much more complicated than that, because honestly, there's no rhyme or reason.
Well, I mean, I have a theory. Maybe the neighbor wanted to see his wife a lot more. He had unresolved issues
That's definitely
with his wife.
That's
yeah.
a thing too. That's very much a thing. Or some like spirits get attached to like furniture. Like,
Yeah.
that's weird. You know, that's
It could be anything, yeah.
Yeah.
A lamp, if you've seen Amityville Horror 4.
Have you seen
I haven't
Amityville?
I don't know about 4.
Explain it. Greg?
When they didn't want to continue having to find a house that looked like the Amityville house to continue filming sequels, they just had it. Oh, it possessed this object.
A lamp
that
from
ended
the
up
house?
as a lamp, and then there's a clock and a mirror and a dollhouse.
Yeah. Well, it's the
Well,
Annabelle
yeah.
thing. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's certainly a thing.
Did you do any research? Like I know that like on 400 Days you talk to people that you talk to astronauts, but like could you do any research for this? You mentioned there was some fringe like science around, like maybe it's electrical stuff. But did you do any other research that?
I went on a couple ghost hunts, which are mostly fake.
How could you tell?
I did go on one after though, where there was some creepy stuff. No, but I'll tell you about the ghost hunt though. So is that what the Mounds Theater?
Oh yeah.
It's like it was haunted, or is I don't what haunted.
Maybe they fixed it.
Maybe.
Maybe they fixed
Fix the
Yeah,
haunting?
they
Yeah.
just burned some sage in there. But they did some ghost hunts there, and we went and did it. And did we film it? I forget if we filmed it. I think we did actually, and released it like as a marketing thing after the fact. But the first thing, and this was probably like just in our head, but like people have seen this little girl ghost around here, and they're like, and there's a cold spot in this room, and if you go put your hand here, it feels colder, and it's right at like head height of where the little girl is. And I shit you not, you go put your hand there, and it's like
Something there. Yeah.
Can't it just be an air vent?
it wasn't here, and it wasn't here.
It was just in the.
Right there in the right
The
spot.
power of
yeah.
suggestion is
Okay.
Pretty powerful. But like, but also if it's in your head, that's also fascinating.
Have you ever been hypnotized?
No.
Okay.
No. But
Can you be hypnotized? Have you checked?
I have not.
Okay. Some people can't be. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could check for that.
You try to get hypnotized.
Yeah.
Okay.
My high school graduation party, the hypnotist tried to hypnotize us and it didn't work on me. So
Funny.
This is a
so
cool
anyways,
guy.
so that was like, it was weird, freaky. I chalked that up to like what's going on in my head. And then another part, they gave us dowsing rods, those little metal.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Things.
Like what the Scientologists do.
Kind of, yes. But they have like, it's electrical and it's more complicated, I think.
There's like a meter in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
these are the things that go like that, right?
Yes.
You hold them like
yes.
that.
And they've been used for centuries by divining rods, people looking for sources of water under the ground.
Yeah.
And like people have actually proven it. It's still crazy to me, but it does back up the electromagnetic moving water thing, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're doing it. And, the leader is saying, okay, I'm going to ask the ghost some questions. And if, they go left, that's yes. If they go right, no. I was not moving them. And they were moving together simultaneously based on all these questions. I'm like, that is one of the freakiest things I've ever seen before. Now, was my subconscious doing it? That's the more likely scenario. Consciously, I was not doing it. And I'm like, and it's answering these questions and going this way, then going this way. It was freaky. So that, was just an experience. I'm like, okay, I don't know everything.
But you still don't believe in ghosts.
I'm
Even
leaving,
after
room,
that.
I'm leaving room for ghosts. Agnostic.
Agnostic.
That's right.
I like. Remember when Nick learned he was an agnostic on a previous episode?
Yeah.
No,
I
I
remember
learned
that.
I was a deist.
Yeah, deist.
surprisingly.
Oh well,
Deist.
I guess that's because you believe there's the possibility of a higher power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised by that definition, but yeah.
I don't know.
I was on a ghost hunt where I got some audio recordings and people got video recordings. So
This is the first time you've brought this up.
Yeah. Anything interesting happened on
it was in a
the
townhouse.
recordings?
It was just in Apple Valley. I got groans and stuff on my audio recordings
Damn,
when
what?
people asked like why. So this is a townhouse where a family lived, and I'm sorry, I'm like totally hijacking the thing.
No, that's
interesting.
great. Yeah.
It's a podcast.
The girl, like one of the young children who lived in the house, would see like a figure with horns in her bedroom.
Damn.
So we were all up in there, and
Up in a little girl's bedroom. Yeah.
well, like throughout the townhouse, it was very similar to like this sort of thing. I was in a room. Someone was asking questions. We split up, but so we were, I was in a room with one other person, and she was asking questions, and like. When I played back the audio, when she asked questions, there was like, are you upset about the people who live in this house? And there was like a very distinct like groan, like not a very human sounding groan on the audio recording after she asked, do you not like the people living here? And then someone set up a camera, like a camcorder, like consumer camcorder where it has that greenish night vision on it. They set it up in like the upstairs, whatever. And we all went downstairs, and right after we all like kind of filed downstairs, there's this little flickering orb or whatever that materializes out of one of the rooms, and like it's a little tiny thing. It's flickering like that, and it goes downstairs right behind us all. I thought that was interesting.
Oh wow.
I'm still the same way though. I don't think of ghosts the way I used to think of them. Like, oh yeah, you die and then you're just floating around and you get to go wherever you want. I think there's more to it than that. I think there's something there, but like, I don't think it's as cut and dry as like, oh yeah, that's just what you do when you die. I think it's an anomaly. I think it's like sometimes maybe
Maybe you come back, maybe you don't.
sometimes
It's
yeah.
a
I don't think
murmur
everyone.
in time.
Yes, yeah.
Sometimes the energy gets attached. To
I
something
think there's
and just
yeah
spooky.
something
Like,
that's
that's
like
one of the theories too.
yeah yeah.
Humans don't know everything, but sometimes we think we do.
Yeah, I certainly know very, very little. That part we can be sure of.
And I want to preface this with, we can cut this out. I obviously people could research this movie and know that there is a person that has been convicted of things, and I'm not going to say the name, so it's not searchable. I'm not interested in prurient details or like treating this like how we've been talking about ghosts. I'm asking like how like to what level you're comfortable, but how has it affected you? Since like this person's very visible and attached to this thing that is a source of joy for you, and like it's not on you. Obviously, you don't know everything, you know.
Yeah.
And like we don't even know if they're ghosts, and like there's true evil in the world. And I'll tell you this, Mrs. Farx, when I was like, oh yeah, that's the guy. Oh, that. She was like, oh, something probably bad like that happened, and that's how that goes forward, like vampires. Not that ties into anything else. So I'm vamping to see. It seems like you're okay telling me how you feel.
Yeah, it sucked. Like it feels like, I mean, not even talking about like, what he did. It feels like it kind of puts a little blemish on the movie. And, when I see it, I'm like, it's not a good feeling, but, it's the whole art versus the artist thing. And clearly he was an artist on it. And can we compartmentalize? And I have to, because I know like the effort everybody put into that. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing good about it, but he was nice to work with, and I thought he did a fine job. Outside of that, that's all I'm going to say.
No, yeah, totally. I mean, I've watched Beetlejuice with my kids, and it's not like I'm not thinking, oh yeah, Jeffrey Jones,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And that's been more recent. It's been a while. You had a while of success with it before that.
Yeah. I had another movie come out a few years ago, and we'll be anonymous here too, where somebody got in trouble for some stuff prior to release, and we're expecting this person to be involved with said release, and couldn't happen. So that hurt the movie, and not like, mortally, but it didn't help by any stretch. Or in another case, working on a different project very recently where somebody kind of got quote unquote canceled locally. We can talk about it off camera.
Love that. Yeah.
But like I was getting asked questions about it. I'm like, that's not my problem. Like not even, and it wasn't like anything bad.
Yeah, no. We've dealt with the same thing locally, and it's like, we're part of why we want to publicly disagree to build community is because there are things you can disagree about and things you can't, and we all understand that.
Yep.
So,
well, I would add the caveat: there are things you can't really control, and it's beyond your control to.
I think most
do
people
that,
understand that too. So they're like, because you have somebody in something, you're not going to cancel the whole project.
Yeah, right.
Like now, if that person is like said author on the whole thing, and you can see their agenda in it, right? And there have been projects like that.
The Louis C.K. movie, I still watched it.
There's that. Yeah. There's a handful of others. It depends on the level of depravity, of course, too, right?
What you're saying, there's degrees to these things? Do you want to get canceled, Matt Damon?
Nuance doesn't exist. It's all
Nuance.
It's all black and white. Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully, people can look at the bigger picture, and I try to.
Yeah, when there's just you have no way of knowing the entire backstory and skeletons in the closet of anyone who's on a project. Like, you're not responsible for that. I mean, but I get still that, like, people will be people and, like, maybe associate.
Yeah, like when I went to the bathroom and confessed to killing 12 people, and you weren't recording,
we'll never know.
like, you could have got me, but not too bad, huh?
Oh, I let it slip.
We know,
My bad.
Victor Salva.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, right? So, like, it's hard to separate. He's, like, the author of the Jeepers Creepers movies. So it's and especially when he loads them up with, just to be clear, I don't care about his sexual preferences. But, like, when he loads them up with, like, lingering shots of, like, attractive young males, you're kind of just drawing attention to, like, what you already did. Like, it makes it a little difficult to watch those movies because
I never did.
The authorship, you didn't see those movies?
I think I tried to watch one of them on Sci-Fi once, and maybe the first one because it was popular.
The first one is like that's a shame.
I've heard it's good.
He's a very good director. It's a shame that he's.
I have one little story on that. When we were shooting Hover in Baton Rouge, He just was shooting Jeepers Creepers 3 years.
Oh, wow.
I forget what it was.
No,
Yeah.
it probably was that because that's like his last. After that, he had to like
Yeah.
sell off the property rights to whatever.
So we were
corporation.
kind of like fighting for crew with that crew.
Oh.
And our crew was like, "You're gonna go work for that asshole." Like, and I think maybe they had a little bit more budget than we did or something.
Damn.
So people were chasing bucks, and our crew was like, "I'm not gonna go work on that. I don't care how much they pay because they have a line, you know."
Yeah.
Whereas somebody, if they're like a single parent, they're like, "I need the extra $400 a day. Like, you know,
Right.
like gotta do it. You know."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky, but yeah, I remember being uncomfortable around those conversations because I'm like, yeah, that's gross.
But if the bigger problem I see is that if people don't have conversations, then these things can proliferate. And I think the good thing is that people will see from the interview that comes after this that you're a very inspiring person, and that we have some ideas for, you know, in the segment we already did about how more people can be building themselves up here.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Well, thank you.
See how I brought that home?
Good.
Yeah, just so call it out.
Tied it up there. That's
Yeah.
good.
Catch us in an interview with Matt Osterman. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN.
Oh, I wanted to. Okay, you're getting
You
this
want to
on
crack
camera.
one? Yeah.
I wanted to have one to crack. Do you have one to crack?
No, I don't.
Flip the tab on it. That's all I can manage.
I will. I gotta.
I could do it with my mouth. That's fine. Yeah.